Hello friends! So, I'm excited about today's video because I got the idea to answer assumptions / questions that fans either think or assume about YouTubers that YouTubers may be too afraid to answer or are just completely false and need to be debunked. So, that is what I'm doing today. Some of these I got off of Instagram, I asked you guys, and some of them are things that I have seen in my comments or in other people's comments that I thought would be fun to kind of answer and debunk. So I'm going to go through the list. How many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of them. So not too many. The first one's a good one. There is more YouTuber drama than we let on. I would say probably, because not a lot of people want to focus on the drama, so there probably is, honestly. There's probably drama, unless you're going to like a drama site. I know like my channels, I want to be drama-free zones because I don't like watching that stuff, so I would assume you don't. But I also don't think there's a crazy amount of drama. Like just typical, some people don't mesh well. So I think there's a normal amount of YouTube drama, but I do think it's not let on because no one wants to focus on drama. Here is another one that I hear all the time is that YouTubers buy new houses for the views. I know at least in my case or in the people I know's cases, that is not the situation. Usually when people want to buy a new house and move, it's just because they want to buy a new house and move. And it has nothing to do with YouTube because YouTube doesn't, I shouldn't say that. YouTube can pay really well, but usually for people that aren't like huge, you know, like Mr. Beast huge, it's not like YouTube is buying them that $1 million mansion. This one actually annoys me, this question. Do YouTubers have babies for the views? And this annoys me because obviously I just had Freya. We do want another one, but YouTube has nothing to do with building a family. Not even in the slightest. I know there's probably exceptions to any rule, but everyone I know that is having kids, they're not doing it for YouTube. They're doing it because they want to grow their family, and that's it. I feel like especially in the niche that I'm in, being a mommy lifestyle channel where we are all 20s, 30s, like we're at that age of buying houses, having babies. So people see it all the time, but that's the age we're at. Like we're at that age where we're making families and doing stuff like that. So no, I don't think people are literally having babies just for the views. Like I said, there's probably exceptions, and that's just gross if that is the case. But no one I personally know is doing it for YouTube. This one was asked to me of, do I like having music in my videos, or I like putting music in my videos? And I really do enjoy that part of editing, finding the music. I've been playing with it a little bit because some people like despise certain music and they definitely let me know. So I've been trying to go with more acoustic type stuff. But I'll be honest, I don't like it as much as my poppy, lyrical, like that's the stuff I like to listen to. So normally I pick my music based off of my personal taste. But I enjoy finding new music and taking the time to do different things like that. Oh, here is one you hear or you get the look all the time. People think YouTube's easy. I literally just had this the other day when I got my oil changed. I always go to the place I used to work. I used to work, if you are in Wisconsin, Milwaukee area, Wild Honda in Waukesha. So I always go there to get my oil changed when it comes up because I still know a good amount of the people there and it just makes getting my oil changed a little bit more enjoyable. But I'm not very vocal about my YouTube on my personal, like Facebook and stuff like that. So there's a lot of people that still don't know I do YouTube. And one of the guys there was asking what I'm doing, asked if I was still at my previous place I was working, and I'm like, no. After Bobby got deployed, I actually started doing YouTube, and it's really taken off, so now I just do that. And I got the typical eye roll, and then, like, oh, you're doing that for a hobby? And I'm like, no, like, I'm making a living doing it, and then I get the, oh shoot, like I could start a fishing like basically you did it so I can do it assumption of it's easy. And then I have to explain, I'm like, you should totally do it if you want to, but don't kid yourself. It's a lot of work. So yeah, people always think it's easy, and I'm telling you, it is definitely not easy. Oh, here's another one. People think YouTubers make a lot of money. This is a yes and a no. So if you're looking at a YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers or less, they could be making decent money if they're doing some side hustles and stuff like that. But YouTube doesn't pay them like crazy amounts of money. Even right now with the different channels I have, and my one channel being, I think it just hit over 130,000 subscribers. It's not like I'm making enough where my husband would just quit his job. So yes, YouTube can make you a lot of money. I do know people that are making well over 6 figures, which to me that's a lot of money. It may not be to everyone, but if I was making 6 figures, I consider that a lot of money. But you have to get a lot of views, and different niches pay out differently. So like gaming channels, they can get millions of views on a video and then only get paid like between $100 and $1,000 for that one video, even if it has 20 million views. So not all YouTubers make a lot of money. There definitely are some. Don't get me wrong. There are some that make a lot of money. My kids watch this family called FGTV. They make a lot of money. I know, because I was curious and looked up how much the dad's net worth was, even before I started YouTube, because I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this guy worth? They're worth a lot of money. All right, here's another one. Bad fan interaction. So I feel like fan interaction is different per channel. When I first started, I commented and responded to every single comment. I now try and keep up with the first 24 hours, and then I'll go back and I try and at least read them. But honestly, here's the honest truth. The first 24 hours, it's usually my subscribers that are commenting. After that, YouTube starts pushing out the videos to people that may have never seen your channel, and you get a lot of nasty comments. So I don't like paying as much attention, because even though to be on YouTube I do think you need thick skin, it doesn't make it sting any less when people call you fat, or say your house is ugly, or your voice is annoying, or any of those things. And those are all things I've heard. So I personally try to stick with comments at least within the first 24 hours. And then I will go through it about once a day and try and keep up on some more. But that is my personal reason of why after 24 hours I'm not as good at it, because I don't like reading some of the negative, because I'd rather keep a positive headspace than start going down the road of, all right, how many other people think like this? This is another one where I think it depends on the influencer, but it says they will promote anything for money. I personally will not. Any company I work with, if I've never heard of them before, I make sure they give me a 2-week process to try their product and then decide if I'm going to promote their product. If I don't like it, I won't promote it. All right, so jealous of other YouTubers. I think there is a healthy jealousy that goes on between YouTube. I'm not really jealous of anyone. However, and this is probably the sales background in me, I was taught when I was in car sales that, oh, John is ahead of you, you better chase your rabbit. And there's always a rabbit to chase. Unless you were on top, and then your goal was to stay on top in the sales industry, there was always a rabbit. And I kind of do the same thing with YouTube. And like I said, I think it's my sales mindset. I've done sales for over 10 years, so it's kind of ingrained in my head. So not jealousy, but definitely, like, I know where certain people are, and I have that, like, mindset of I want to catch them. So I kind of hit on this one. Hate comments get to you. Yes, they do. Not all of them. Some of them I just like, whatever. I've gotten to a point where if someone's being just nasty, one comment, I won't do it. But if someone has gotten to where they will leave, like, a nasty comment on multiple videos, I just block them. Because it's not worth me having to read it and then get upset and all that stuff. So hate comments do definitely get to me. But I think actually what gets me worse than the hate comments is when you confront someone for saying something hateful, you then get accused of, oh, well, you're on social media, you should expect it, or you should accept it, or whatever. And I think that's wrong. Like, you do need thick skin. If you're going to start a YouTube channel, expect hate, but you don't have to accept it. Expect it, don't accept it. Because, no, if someone's being hateful, I don't have to accept that. I can block you, I can delete you, like, and I can confront you for it. Like, if you want to come at me and say, you're fat, and yes, I've gotten those comments before, I can come back and snap back at you. That's my right. Because you put yourself out there by leaving a hateful comment. So, if you're going to start a YouTube channel, definitely expect hate comments. They're going to come in. You do not need to accept it. I heard someone the other day that said, oh, you shouldn't be calling people trolls just because of their opinions, because someone called someone a troll. I'm like, whatever. They were being mean. If they don't want to be called a troll, don't be mean. Don't leave hateful comments, and you won't get hateful comments back. But if you're going to put yourself out there, you should expect it back. Okay, so this one. Most YouTubers just want money. 50-50 split. I feel like a lot, especially in our niche, a lot of people start YouTube just for a hobby and something to do. That's when I started mine. I did not start mine with the idea of it turning into a business. I started mine because Bobby got deployed. I had to quit my job and stay home with 2 kids, and I've never been a stay-at-home mom. Like, I have always worked 40, 50 hours a week out of the house, and I started it because I needed something. So when I started it, I definitely didn't start it for money. It turned into a career, which I'm very thankful for, because I think everyone wants to be in a job that they love, and I truly love doing YouTube, but I didn't get into it for the money. And I actually know a lot of girls that it was purely they needed something that was for themselves. I feel like as moms, we give so much to our families that YouTube, in at least the mommy niche, is a lot of moms just saying, I need something for me. I need something to get my creative energy out and just do because I love it. And then it can turn into money, and sometimes they just do it because they do enjoy it. Sorry. The next one, you get extra when it comes to organizing and decluttering and things like that. Yes, I would say yes. Because we try and do it in a way of giving other people maybe something they didn't think about or never seen before. I know I do a lot more research on organizing different areas and Pinterest it and stuff like that way more than I would if I wasn't on YouTube. Just because I want to make sure like I'm giving you guys really good tips, really good tricks, and you're not, if I just did whatever, you wouldn't be learning anything from me, and at that point, why even watch? So I do think, yes, YouTubers, and especially myself, I do go a little above and beyond when it comes to my organization because of YouTube. Otherwise, I would probably just do the basic organizing. I will say, though, I like things like my closet. I never used to color coordinate my clothes. But since I did it for a video, now I'll never change that because I absolutely love the way it looks. So yeah, I do think people do a little bit extra than if they weren't on YouTube. But it doesn't mean it's not really good tips. Okay, here's the last one. People put on fake personalities for YouTube. Yes and no again. I personally try and be as real as possible. One thing I will say though, because, and I always feel bad when people say that, your life is just perfect. Like, that is not the case. You guys see a lot of the good, but that's because if Bjorn is having a temper tantrum, my first thought isn't, ooh, let me go grab my camera. My thought is, I need to be a mom and take care of the situation. So you guys see just a very small snippet of our lives. But I try personality-wise to stay as real as possible. There's probably certain things that, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Yeah, other than me just not showing kids having temper tantrums, or a couple months back, I think I showed the bloody tissue from Bjorn having like a bloody nose, but my first thought wasn't when I saw that his nose was bleeding that I need to grab my camera. My first thought was, let me go take care of my child. But personality-wise, I try to stay as real as possible with you guys, and I will always try and stay as real as possible with you guys. Because I figure some people aren't going to relate with me or like my personality, but the people that do, like, that's my tribe anyway. So, but I will say, yeah, there are some people on YouTube that 100% seeing them on YouTube and then seeing them off YouTube, it seems fake. Now, it's hard to say because I really don't know any of these people in person. But there have been situations where I'm like, I thought you were nice. But that's very few and far between. Most YouTubers I know that I have then come to like talk to on the phone or text or whatever, they come off just as sweet there as they do on their videos. There's actually some people that I used to watch all the time, and I'm not name dropping. This is a safe zone, so no name dropping. But there's people that I used to watch all the time that I don't watch anymore because I do kind of feel like they're fake. And there's some people that I used to watch all the time and I watch even more now because I feel like they are so genuine after getting to know them. So, yeah, I think it's a yes and a no, but that's going to be most situations. I think even if you work a 9-to-5 job, you could have that guy that comes to work that's so nice and so charming, and then he goes home and he's just a jerk to his wife. I think it's the same situation on YouTube. You're going to get those situations where they get on camera and they're nice and sweet, and then they go home and they're not so nice and sweet. But the typical stuff like, oh, I don't see you ever yelling at your kids. Well, no, I'm not going to grab out my camera and yell at my kids on camera. If my kid's having a temper tantrum, I'm not going to grab out my camera and show you guys his temper tantrum. That stuff is expected. But yeah, fake personalities, it's about a 50-50 split. if you guys have more assumptions about YouTubers that you want me to answer or debunk, because like I said, some of them are just kind of crazy. I don't think people are having babies and buying houses for YouTube. But I think this was kind of fun. So I will answer your questions that maybe other YouTubers are too afraid to answer. Yeah, I'll do it. I don't care. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye.